So I got a woman that want to, just get some answers. Now, this woman is based actually out of Houston, and she was having a conversation at a bar, with a brother that was there. Let's go ahead and roll that because, really some of the responses that he gave her could be true, but a lot of it is just something I take an issue with. Let's roll that.
I really actually have a question for the men. Myself and a friend of mine went to happy hour, and so we were sitting at the bar, and there was a guy next to us who was there by himself. And we started to strike up a conversation. It was a black guy. And so he was basically trying to school us on why black women aren't finding their man, getting married, whatever. So his first thing was that we're aggressive. That was the first thing. Then the second thing was that most black women are over 190 pounds. And then he was like, black women don't know how to treat a man like our great grandmothers used to treat their men. So we were kind of just like, okay, if you want us to, be like a lady and be like our great grandmothers, then y'all have to act like our great grandfathers. But again, he wasn't trying to hear that. So then he says that even though he wants us to be like our great grandmothers, that we are supposed to evolve with the times. Meaning, since he's sitting at the bar by himself, that essentially the women should come up to him and ask him, maybe send him a drink or ask him out on a date or basically be the man in the situation. So it's just really hard to understand. So okay, so I'm in Houston, and we were also talking about how in Houston that it's 1 to 6. So one man to every 6 woman. And so I was saying to him, that's also an issue too, that there's just not enough good men out here. And we were specifically talking about black men for these black women. And that, we don't want to fight the other 5 women to get this one man. So he was saying basically that we should be trying to fight these other women. And the way that we fight them is trying to put ourselves at the front, meaning come up to him at the bar, send him a drink, ask him out on a date, do all of those things to get his attention over the other women. Otherwise, he's going to go with one of those other girls. Then he's saying that's the reason why black men date outside of their race, because these black women don't want to, I guess, fight the other women for their attention.
Now, first and foremost, that particular guy you just met him, and he's trying to give you a podcast on why black women don't have a man. The first thing I would have said to him if I was that woman, say, oh, okay, so who do you listen to podcasts? That was the first thing I'd ask him. Say, what's your favorite podcaster? I would have asked him that question, because guys who don't get outside their house and they just listen to what's being said on podcasts, they just start repeating that to women. Dude, no woman cares about that situation when you're talking to them. Who cares what black women aren't getting? At the time, you're talking to a black woman, not black women. Doesn't matter. And let's call it what it is. Some of these dudes don't have a woman either. So why are you sitting up here schooling her about what black women aren't getting, but you're sitting at a bar by yourself with no woman? That's stupid to me. And I would tell women, if you hear a dude start talking like that, don't take him seriously. Just don't. Because it's a time and place for that conversation. And that's just not it. Nobody wasn't even mentioning that. Who cares about what black women got going on? All you need to do is get one, that's what you want, right? Now, she mentioned about that there's for every one man, there's 6 women in Houston or the Houston area. Okay, once again, don't matter. Basically what that means is, now let's lean more on what he's saying. Basically, you got to compete a little bit more because of that 1 to 6 ratio. You have to stand out a lot more. And it is enough men for the women, but if you are a woman who don't want to compete for those men, now competing doesn't mean all of a sudden now you acting like a man. In other words, like that dude telling you, "Oh, well, send me a drink." Like that's weird to me. I'm sorry, that's weird to me. I wouldn't even feel right as a man, some woman doing that. I'm like, bro, I'm not. I mean, what do you want? You want her to get on one knee and propose too? No, you can't have 1 minute y'all want to complain that these women are too masculine, but then to sit up here and tell a woman to, well, maybe you should send us a drink. Or maybe now, sparking conversation, that's different, right? And even if a woman is quote unquote just feel like she want to shoot her shot, it's ways women can do that without doing that. I mean, a man that got some halfway common sense and kind of read through what she's doing by just having small conversation and smiling a lot and just things that women would do to let you know, okay, she's interested, but she really don't have to say it fully to you, but she's interested, because these other groups of women that he's talking about, they do the same thing, right? But you guys got to be careful telling a woman to basically emasculate you. You don't want no woman doing that to you, bruh. It don't matter if they competing. That's the last thing you don't want, because if you starting off with a situation where she's emasculating you, then later don't get mad when she's still emasculating you, because you start off the situation being emasculated. It's just that simple. When it comes to competing, who cares about ratios? All you got to do is secure one. That's it. How do you secure that one? As a woman, have a great personality about yourself. Take care of yourself, physically. I mean, because men men are very visual, so you got to take care of yourself physically for them to get that attention. Being nice, you got to stand out. Don't be out here with all this eccentric makeup. Wear very natural makeup where you don't need much of that. Caking on all that foundation. I know the foundation thing. If you just take care of your skin and shoot, you just moisturize your skin. Trust me, you'll stand out enough on that alone. Maybe a little lip gloss or whatever the case may be, lipstick, whatever. You ain't got it. I mean, you can get your lashes, but they don't have to make it look like it look natural. Don't make what people look like, what you got on your eyes? Like, seriously? Don't do that, right? Just make yourself look natural as possible. You can have enhancements, just make it look natural. That's what people don't understand. I'm not even against, if somebody want to get some sort of plastic surgery, fine. Just make sure your plastic surgery looks like that you didn't get anything. That's how good and natural it looks on you. It look like you, whatever. Because when you make it look like you're fake, that's what a lot of dudes are turned off by. It's because things just look so fake. But you stand out that way. Don't be in places where everybody else is at. If they're over here, you go over here. You go the opposite direction. If they all wearing this, you wear something else. Always be the opposite of what the crowd is doing. That's how you stand out as a woman. Completely. That's it. Who cares about, who cares? There's somebody for everybody. Always remember that. It's somebody for everybody. Don't matter how many millions of people are in the world or millions of people in the Houston area. Don't matter. It's somebody for everybody. Don't be intimidated by any kind of 1 to 12, 1 to 6. Who cares? You just say, okay, well, I'm going to be the one picked because I'm about to put myself in a position to be picked. That's it. A woman like that don't want to compete, she's not going to have a man. It's just that simple. You got to compete for good men and you'll get one.